A newly appointed judge took the bench today in the Young Thug RICO trial. Judge Paige Whitaker is the third judge assigned to the lengthy court case.
Fox 5's Brittany Edney is live outside the Fulton County Courthouse for us tonight. And Brittany, we saw some heated, even shocking moments from that trial since it began. So what was the tone now that there is a new judge presiding over this case?
Honestly, you could really feel an energy change inside the courtroom. And just starting off, the hearing not only started on time, but actually like a minute or so early. And that was a complete change from the last 7 months when the trial would either be delayed in the morning or have a late start time. Judge Whitaker really wasted no time getting down to business, and she really started to lay out and set ground rules for how she expects all sides to conduct themselves inside her courtroom moving forward.
Are there any other pending motions for Mr. Williams?
Judge Paige Whitaker takes the bench Friday morning after becoming the third judge assigned to the YSL RICO case. Ahead of the hearing, Young Thug's attorney, Brian Steele, filed a motion to have 2 prosecutors disqualified from the case. There were other outstanding motions for fellow defendants.
For Mr. Huey, I have got a renewed motion for bond.
Whitaker made it clear this hearing was to get organized.
I don't want to get into substantive argument about anything today because we don't have the parties themselves here.
The judge asked all sides to file any other motions by the end of next week and said she will try to address them by the week of the 29th. She also expressed her expectations for the trial moving forward, from start times,
and when I say 8:45, I mean 8:45,
to something rarely discussed in court, wardrobe.
Sure, they can have new outfits for court, but it sounds like they're like full wardrobes full of clothing for some of these defendants.
Because it's a lot for deputies to process.
Let's make sure that it gets whittled down to a manageable amount of clothing. You know, like there are only going to be 5 days in each week. So even if they had a different outfit every day, that would only be 5 outfits, okay? We shouldn't have 20 different outfits for anybody. So y'all need to clear out, apparently, the closets.
And we're told that the jury is set to come back August 5th. Reporting live outside the Fulton County Courthouse, Brittany Edney, Fox 5 News.
Fulton County. A new judge has been assigned to the massive Young Thug and YSL trial in Fulton County after the original judge was recused for an ex-party meeting, and the second judge recused herself. This new judge, however, is not messing around. The first thing Judge Whitaker did was make it clear that court would start promptly at 8:45 a.m. and end at 6 p.m. daily, though Fridays might be half days depending on the tasks at hand. I'm thinking 8:45 to 6, and when I say 8:45, I mean 8:45. I intend to take the bench at 8:45, Judge Whitaker said. Judge Whitaker also said that she knew some defendants had several attorneys, but if one attorney was present, court would go forward. I don't want to be waiting around until 9:30, Judge Whitaker emphasized. Next, she addressed concerns raised by individuals associated with the trial. Judge Whitaker stated that everyone is welcome to have water or any drink they prefer, provided they aren't clumsy and avoid spilling it everywhere. However, food will no longer be allowed in the courtroom unless the court is working through lunch or dinner. No snacking during the trial. If we're working through lunch or it's late and it's dinner time, it will be okay for the attorneys or the defendants to have food, but not while someone is on the stand testifying. This isn't a movie theater. We're not eating popcorn, she explained. Judge Whitaker mentioned that deputies had informed her that the clothing situation had become excessive. Some defendants appeared to have wardrobes full of clothes, which was cumbersome for the deputies to manage. Let's make sure it gets whittled down to a manageable amount. There are only 5 days in a week, so even if they had a different outfit each day, that would only be 5 outfits. We shouldn't have 20 different outfits for anyone. Clear out the closet, she instructed. The judge also banned the use of AirPods in court, noting that they raised security concerns. Initially, someone suggested they were to prevent defendants from being bored. Well, we won't be bored from here on out, she quipped. She added that if AirPods were needed for listening to interviews or other legitimate purposes, this should be done before court, and any scheduling issues should be communicated to her. Judge Whitaker asked the lawyers to conduct court in a manner that minimizes disruptions, though she didn't specify what those disruptions might be. Finally, Judge Whitaker instructed the prosecutors that attorneys must provide lists of witnesses and summaries of their testimony. All evidence, especially extensive items like audio or video recordings, must be reviewed and their admissibility determined before being presented in court. Any missing reports or discovery materials need to be listed and addressed promptly. Additionally, given the number of witnesses that the state plans to call, Judge Whitaker made it clear that she expects the actual testimony of witnesses to move along quickly. "I expect you to have your next witness ready to go. I don't want there to be a 5-minute pause between one witness getting off the stand and the next witness getting on the stand," Judge Whitaker instructed. Judge Whitaker is a former Fulton County prosecutor, who also worked at the State Attorney General's office. She has been a judge in Fulton County since 2017. Judge Whitaker received her Bachelor of Arts from College of Charleston and her Juris Doctor from Duke University School of Law. Her professional experience and associations include Board of Governors for State Bar of Georgia, Georgia Women's Policy Institute, Lawyers Club of Atlanta, past chair of the Fulton County Juvenile Court Citizens Review Committee, ambassador for the Pink Ribbon Story Foundation, and sustainer for Junior League of Atlanta. Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, and his co-defendants were indicted in 2022. Following the longest jury selection in history, 10 months, the trial got underway in November 2023. At 18 months and counting, it is the longest trial in Georgia history. The trial has been plagued by various disruptions, including illnesses, the arrests of a juror and lawyer, the stabbing of defendant Shannon Stillwell, and various other disruptions. There are 5 others on trial with Williams. They are Marquavius Huey, Demond Kendrick known as Yak Gotti, Quamarvius Nichols, Rodelius Ryan and Shannon Stillwell.